Hey there. My name is Jenna Matlin and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to briefly talk about the thing about soulmates. In my practice as a full-time reader, there's not a week that goes by where I don't do at least 3 readings on soulmate connections and soulmates. Soulmates, twin flames, whatever you want to call them, they are something that most readers encounter. And most time people want to get readings about soulmates because they can be intense. You can meet someone and feel like you've known them, that there's some kind of past life connection. The chemistry typically is through the roof. But it's rare that those soulmate connections can actually translate into a committed, non-toxic, and healthy relationship. And there's a couple reasons why that is. Oftentimes, that soulmate is resonating because you two are soul connected. I believe that soul to soul, there is often a shock of recognition, even though these souls are residing in these physical bodies. And that shock of recognition is so intense. However, oftentimes that shock of recognition doesn't really translate into that person being the domestic partner that we need to have in our lives at that time. Sometimes that soul connection or that soulmate is so intense because there's a karmic lesson that person is supposed to bring to you in this lifetime. But again, it doesn't always translate into a domestic partnership. And that can feel very confusing because that soulmate connection, that soulmate energy is so incredibly intense. It's like a drug. And if it feels so good, why isn't this becoming my forever person in this lifetime? So the thing is that a soulmate is not necessarily here to facilitate a biological partnership in your physical body, but a soulmate is here to teach a lesson. And sometimes will have soulmates show up in our lives for whom they are acting particularly as an awakener in our life. There is a term for this. It is not mine. I cannot remember exactly who coined it, but it's called the love shaman. And the love shaman is someone whose role is to come into your life and awaken you to love again, awaken you to passion again. This often can occur when we have been stuck in cold unions with others, or we feel we have, we can no longer, we don't know how to love, and maybe our hearts are broken for life, and then that's it. And then along comes this person who kisses you awake in some way and awakens you. But in order for that to happen, there needs to be a lot of heat for that catalyst to occur, which is often their role. So while they show up as the awakener, they are the spark. They don't necessarily translate into the kind of long-term commitment that we may want in our lives. So if you have a soulmate or someone who has these soulmate kind of tendencies, but there are tons of red flags, listen to the red flags. The red flags are important. So even though this person there may be a soul connection between you and this person, you're both in bodies that may not have that kind of karmic role in this lifetime. So don't ignore the red flags. If you have this strong connection, enjoy it for what it is, enjoy it for the gift that it is, but then let it go. Do not get entangled in soulmate energy that can also sometimes turn toxic because it's not meant for a long-term union. Something to keep in mind. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about with soulmates. I know in my personal life, I was with someone for whom I had this very intense connection like this. To this day, I still feel connected to this person. I can sense them, but they were a trash fire. of red flags and problems, and I ignored them for a really long time because I felt that that soulmate connection had a greater meaning, that it had to have meant that we were supposed to be together forever, that we're meant for one another. And that wasn't the case, but it kept me stuck in something that was really actually quite toxic for me far longer than I should have. So if you're using the word soulmate for somebody in your life, for whom there is that intense connection, but otherwise it's kind of red flags abound, then you know what you need to do. If you're seeing readers who are feeding that obsession and confirming that someone who's probably abusive or bad to you, or an adulterer or any other kind of horrible things, if they're telling you to stay with this person because of the soulmate connection, then I think you need to fire that reader. So how do you know the difference? The difference is, as a reader, oftentimes I can tell in aggregate whether a relationship is going to last or not, oftentimes by how the person defines it. When someone says soulmate or twin flame, that usually indicates what I've been talking about so far, which is intense, incredibly toxic aspects to it, not healthy for this person's growth in the long term, though could have acted as a catalyst for big growth and change. But the other word that I like to hear that often indicates a long-term connection is best friend. And so any relationship that needs to make that shift from that heavy, intense energy to something that we can have a normal life with, and do tasks with that person and pour them a bowl of cereal on a Sunday morning, we have to be best friends. So that's part of this too. So if you are involved with soulmate situation, please remember, chemistry does not equal commitment, and energetic resonance does not equal I do. Do not confuse these two things. Okay, my name is Jenna Matlin. Good luck with all of your soulmate troubles and your twin flame woes. Bye-bye.